Liv, correct me if I'm wrong, but you saying, pretending to be Putin and saying you don't want a ceasefire isn't everlasting, you want a big peace deal. I mean, it sounds like Putin was stringing Trump along, which you and I said last week that was going to be his ultimate goal. Do you think he did that, and do you think he succeeded at that?
Well, he obviously didn't get the ceasefire. He decided, and he went along with Putin's recommendation that we can get to a comprehensive peace. And now, jumping a little bit ahead to Monday, I'm very pleased that the meeting between Zelensky and President Trump, with quite a few European leaders there showing solidarity, that seemed to go very well. We all remember the bad meeting that Zelensky and Trump had some months back. I think Zelensky did a much better job of diplomacy, and I think there's some reason for hope. But I am concerned. What are they talking about? They're talking about first a meeting between Zelensky and Putin. I can't even imagine how that meeting would play out. I can't imagine anything they would agree on. I can't imagine them shaking hands. That is a meeting between a predator and a prey. That's very hard for me to imagine. Now, President Trump is talking about after that a trilateral, meaning it would be President Trump, it would mean Putin, it would mean Zelensky all together. That I can imagine because I can think of Trump saying, look, here's how I think this should go. Here's what I think is fair. There are a lot of people saying all Zelensky has to do at this point is give up some land. And if he does that, he'll end up with a country that remains independent and sovereign and free. And that sounds good, and maybe that's the case, but here's why I'm concerned. Putin wants Zelensky to give up not only the land that Russian forces have conquered, but a lot more land. According to the best assessment I've seen, for Putin to conquer the land that he wants turned over to him through diplomacy would take Putin's forces 4 years and up to 2 million casualties. Huge. You can see why Putin would say, okay, this is great. If I can achieve in a meeting what my forces couldn't achieve on the ground for 4 years and with 2 million casualties, why shouldn't I do that? And some would say, even so, it's worth doing if you get to peace. But here's the rub. I'm worried that the land that Putin wants Zelensky to give up, including what's called the fortress belt, which are fortifications along a particular line and in some different terrain, would leave Ukraine vulnerable to penetration in the future. Now, what's the answer to that? Well, people talk about security guarantees, and that's a possibility, but I don't think we know what a security guarantee means right now. Is it a piece of paper? Is it British and French troops stationed in Ukraine? Is it America helping out with intelligence and drones overhead? If a British or French troops were killed by Russian soldiers penetrating and marching to Kiev, what would happen then? There's just a lot of things. There's just a lot of moving parts here, a lot of devils in the details, if you see what I mean, Brittany.